Well, Baltimore has suffered through the deadliest drug overdose crisis ever seen in a major U.S. city. That is the finding after investigative reporting by our media partner, the Baltimore Banner and the New York Times. After a series of reports exposing the horrible conditions at some drug treatment facilities, including PHA Healthcare, in January, state regulators said PHA patients would be moved to new providers. But before that, they made millions of dollars from Medicaid a year. Well, now the Banner has a new report showing that the people who ran PHA seem to be still in business, and there are even questions about some of the providers its patients were sent to. So reporter Alisa Zhu joined us now. Thank you so much for being here. Great work as always. So January, it's been over 6 months since the state intervened. I know that you, in your reporting, talked to some PHA patients who say little has changed for them. So what has happened?
Yeah, I was really interested in continuing to follow what happened to patients after the cease and desist order from the state. And, after talking to at least a half dozen patients who have been in their housing in recent months, what I've heard is that actually a lot of the people are staying in a lot of the same buildings where drug use is common, and they're even getting treatment from a lot of the same individuals who were logging on for these online group counseling sessions, but appeared to be living in other countries and not licensed in the state of Maryland. And there are a lot of concerns. The patients had questions about why this was happening, how this could be happening, because it seemed like a lot of the same operators were actually operating under perhaps a different company name. And it turns out PHA Healthcare had submitted a transition plan to the state that approved moving its patients to 3 other treatment programs in the city that had close ties to someone who had once worked as a consultant for PHA Healthcare.
I mean, to sort of sift it all down, it sounds like this was a for-profit venture where these people who really needed treatment for addiction were the ones who suffered for it. Because you mentioned in some of your reporting that there were deaths. There were people who died in some of these centers, 12 or 13 deaths. So these were really serious violations. Also in your reporting, you talk about how people got free housing if they attended these counseling sessions. That's confusing. What's the link there?
Almost every single PHA healthcare patient I spoke to had come there because they were looking for housing. They had come from the streets, they had been living in shelters, encampments, or in abandoned buildings. And they were primarily looking for a place to stay, and there are a lot of other programs that do this too, where they say, we will offer you free or reduced cost housing if you attend a specific treatment program, and that is not legal, although it is has been an increasingly common practice in Maryland. The benefit of that for the companies is that for every person that enrolls in their program, they can build Medicaid.
That's where that Medicaid money comes in, yeah. All right, so the state made a move in January. It seems like they responded to this reporting. What is their response to the fact that we're still in many cases in the same situation?
Yeah, I spoke to Behavioral Health Secretary, Deputy Secretary Alyssa Lord, and she said essentially the state can't comment on specific investigations or complaints, but she did talk about some of the wider ongoing efforts that they've been making to improve oversight of addiction treatment in Maryland. So that includes rewriting regulations, investigating cases of suspected Medicaid fraud. But this is, I want to emphasize, a real system-wide problem, and there's a lot more work to do. This past legislative session, lawmakers approved a new law that says the Maryland Department of Health has to basically update lawmakers on what they're doing to improve the situation.
Well, that's at least a good thing. All right, I remind our viewers that all of this good reporting that you and the Times did won a Pulitzer, which is no small thing. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the latest chapter in this long series of reports if you'd like to read it. And also other independent reporting from our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Just head to thebaltimorebanner.com. Rochelle?